And welcome in everybody to another Monday night edition of the Joe Quill Show, the Mike and Joe edition. Big Mike, little Joe here, and uh, another Monday night here. And I'm still hearing the echo. We're gonna fight through it again tonight. I gotta figure it out. I think I know what it is, but we'll figure it out. But anyways, Mike, welcome aboard again.
Thank you, Joe. Welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Yep.
Good evening.
I can tell it's going to be a night already. But coming up on the show here, I'm going to talk about the Eagles win, the biggest karma payback ever. We all know what that is, I think, especially if you're a football guy. Jordan Love's injury, not as bad as I thought. We had a couple things here as we went along here, so uh, we'll get everything going here in a couple of minutes. I also have some updates here because this is the biggest, well, I should say the busiest week of the year for me because it's Breeders' Cup week. So I don't know how I'm going to get everything in, but I usually do. But probably going to have a night where I'm going to be up till 5 o'clock.
5:30. Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, I work from home, so
5:45.
so when I get to 10:30, I will hear. Hold on. I will hear this alarm.
Okay.
Because that's my emergency alarm.
That's mildly annoying.
That's why I have it.
Ah.
Because I have the softer ones. Then once you get to 10:15, 10:30,
Yeah.
that's when it's like, oh, okay, now we have to get up.
The really annoying one. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because there was a one time a couple years ago where I was late for work.
You were late for work.
Hmm.
Can't see it.
Well, I kind of dozed off a little bit.
I got you. Okay.
But the great thing is, I can just say, you know what? I had a computer problem.
Oh, the old computer problem trick. Gotcha.
Well, I couldn't do it if it was like I couldn't do it if it was like an hour and a half late or anything. But
Right.
and the other thing was, remember when I was out sick with my tooth back
Yeah.
in July?
Yeah.
Well, I called the dentist on Friday morning. I said, "Listen, my appointment's tomorrow. Can you fit me in today because I got a bad toothache?" So I didn't plan on being there for an hour, which I was. I was supposed to start at 11:30, and one of the coworkers was texting me because they were like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "I'm at the dentist. I am going to be calling out, but just letting you know ahead of time because I didn't plan on being there an hour." I mean, even though my dentist is right up the street, literally,
Right.
so I couldn't get there. I couldn't get back in time or respond because I couldn't find that person in my text messages.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh well, they're gonna have to text me. I'm gonna have to reply back.
They were concerned about you.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and when I was over there, I was like, you know, well, I mean, don't mind me. I'm not doing this, just to, doing whatever. But, um, I was telling them, I was like, I'm trying to find something for work to let them know that I'm not going to be working today.
Right.
But I couldn't find it until when they respond. I'm like, oh, good, I found you. Because the way my text, I mean, I don't delete text messages. Well, the only text messages I delete are those election ones that I get like every single day.
It's almost over. It's
I know,
almost over.
I know. But thankfully, hopefully, we just don't have a drawn out process where we have something for a couple of days to a couple of weeks after the fact.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah. But I did see that Joe Biden was in Delaware today voting.
Did he?
Yeah. And of course, the app that I got the story from messed up on Facebook because I was going to say that he voted for Enormous Stitz for president.
They
you
were
know,
right.
because he's like 85 years old.
Yes.
He's senile. You know,
That's what he told me. Yeah.
but it is what it is. So, but anyways, we'll get into that and more. And we're watching the baseball game tonight. Um, you know, the hell with the Giants because the Giants and the Squealers, or I should say the midgets and the Squealers. Um, you know, the thing is, and I said this to Mike, I said, fuck the football game.
Yeah. It's more
And what was the reason behind it, Mike? Do you remember?
something about post game versus regular game.
Postseason,
Yes.
regular season.
There you go. Yeah.
Even
Postseason. Yes.
even though I got the TV on in the living room because we're in the dining room, that's probably why all the echo is occurring. So, um, but you know, it's just that postseason has precedence over Monday Night Football,
Yes, it
and
does.
it's not because of the fact that it's Dodgers and Yankees or anything like that. It's just the importance of the game itself, even though it is Game 3 and the Dodgers are up 3-0 right now.
Well, it is the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you know that the ratings have been the best since 2017 so far?
Have they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the two best teams in Major League Baseball. So
Two best teams, two biggest markets.
exactly.
Shohei,
Yeah.
Aaron Judge, who hasn't done squat.
No.
The World Series is averaging 14.55 million viewers through the first two games, the best start for the Fall Classic since 2017.
Star power will do that for you.
Mm-hmm. Instead of, wait, do I have it on here or not? Let me see. No, I don't. Damn it. Wait a second. Let me see if it's on my list here of stuff that I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. Let me add this here. As opposed to, like, for example, last year's World Series with Texas and Arizona, where it was one big.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Exactly.
So you do have the names here. You got the old school rivalry, the first time they face each other in 40 some years and all that. And um, our friend SJ, the Yankees fan, I tried to get her hopes up. There was a story that I shared, an Insta story I shared with her or whatever. They The last two times that the Yankees and Dodgers met and it was 2-0,
Yeah.
the team that was down 0-2 won the World Series.
Oh,
In 81, the Yankees won the first two games, and
right.
now I think it was 79. No, it's not 79, 78 maybe.
I thought that's the year we were there.
No, Phillies were in 1980.
We didn't go 77 or 78?
Lost in the division series.
That's right. That's right.
Lost to the Reds in 76,
And the Dodgers in the
77 and 78.
78. Yeah.
Come on, man. You know I'm Rain Man.
Wealth of information.
Useless information.
Information.
But, but the ratings are up. You got the two biggest markets, you got the star power, you got everything that baseball wants to get fans watching the game again. And they're drawing in Japan as well, obviously, because of Shohei Ohtani. Now, for example, Saturday's game 2 averaged 13.44 million viewers on Fox, which was a 65% increase over last year's game 2.
I can see that.
Yeah, but I don't know what days of the week they fell on too, because that may play a bit as well. Because I look at a whole bunch of. I question a lot of things that a lot of people don't question about. Like for example, what were the days of the week and stuff like that.
Today is Monday, right?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure. Okay.
but actually, I think 2 years ago was the same because if you remember when the Phillies were in the World Series 2 years ago, I believe it was the same. I believe it was the same setup because it was Friday, Saturday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but it got pushed to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday because they had a last second rain out,
Exactly. Yeah, I remember.
and then they just pushed everything back a day. So Game 6 was on Saturday, and
Yeah.
Philly became the first team to lose 2 championships in the same day.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because the soul. Yeah.
no, the Union.
I mean, the Union. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the Union lost probably the greatest MLS Cup final game
Oh, yeah.
because that was back and forth the whole
Yeah.
day. I mean, it wasn't like it was 3-1 and it's like, oh god. Yeah. I mean, now if you're on the winning side, yeah, but that's expected. But
Well, I'm thinking if the Phillies were in the World Series, the ratings would still be high because of Philadelphia market versus the Yankees, New York,
yeah,
Philadelphia. Yeah, it
yeah,
still would be high.
yeah. So, but they're actually saying that LA they had a 17.3 rating and a 55 share, whereas New York had a 10.3 and a 32 share. Now, what that means for those that are saying, "What the hell are you talking about?" Which is like every day to me. Actually, every 20 some seconds on the phone over there. But seriously, the rating is the percentage of television households tuned in. So 17.3% of the country was watching that game. And the share refers to the percentage of the audience viewing at the same time.
So you and I were watching the baseball game at the same time?
Apparently.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now, also, I would like to know, even though it'd be a little interesting to see, I would like to know what the ratings were for USC and Rutgers.
Ooh, I don't know if that was high or not.
Well, at least the first part of the game,
Right.
when they finally cut in the middle of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter.
Right.
Because remember, the game ran long, and they said, "Oh, to watch the beginning of the game, if you want to watch Rutgers and USC, go to FS1, or if you're in New York or LA, go to this particular channel." But I mean, but I did tell you guys to take USC. They won. And I did go 4-2, but we won't talk about that Tennessee game yesterday.
No, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. Me saying that was a trap game for Detroit. But anyway, so so I'm keeping track of everything here, and got my laptop here. I'm watching the behind the scenes stuff here, and Mike's watching the screen and pretending to pay attention and all that.
Yeah.
But we're also keeping track of the game here. I'm keeping track of both games, even though I'm not really that interested in the Giants. But I did think about doing a well, it's 9-6 Steelers right now. I did think about doing a reverse New York double, a New York fade tonight, because I did hit last week. I did fade both the Flyers and the Sixers
Yes,
last
you
week.
did. Yes, you did.
And I had to sweat out the Flyers game, but the Sixers helped me out last week.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, did you see that Joel Embiid got a technical foul yesterday?
No.
He got an after-the-fact technical foul. They announced it today because towards I don't know if it was in the fourth quarter or in overtime. He's sitting there. I got to use my Union towel here that I have from 2 years ago, 3 years ago actually. But it was a bigger towel, so
Right.
But he's there waving the towel on the sidelines, trying to distract the player, the pacer. So he's got more technical fouls than he has minutes played so far this year.
It's got to be a record.
He's also got more NBA investigations in minute play right now.
That's not a record.
So, it is what it is. So, but let's get back to the football here. Eagles win. Huge win there, 37-17, I think it was.
Yes, it was.
All I know is the Eagles won big. That's all that mattered to me.
Yep.
And I did tell you to take the Eagles money line because fuck it. But but when Cincinnati had that 11-minute drive or 10-minute drive to start the game, I'm like, oh Christ. Because the one thing is with the Eagles, and you can disagree if you want, and just to let you know, I do tell Mike that this, don't disagree with me just because because we don't want to be like First Take or Skip Bayless's old show or any other talking head show that's on TV. I mean, if I want Mike to disagree with me, I want him to disagree with me because he actually does disagree with me. But the way that the Eagles defense is, it's very bend and don't break, especially early in the game. It just seemed like Cincinnati was doing just enough to get a first down. Just enough to get a first down.
It was annoying. It was very annoying.
And I said at the beginning of the game, and I'm going to pull up my Twitter here. And by the way, Joe Quills at Twitter, or X as it's called. Now, I don't know if Elon will come after me or not, but I would love to start a site called Triple X. It'll be social media for porn. But,
of course.
Let me see. Let me find it here. First thing I said was the Eagles may not score here in the first quarter on a technicality because the first period ends before the drive ends, which happened. And I said here, this is what I've said, because the one thing I said, and I know you cannot disagree with this because I say it all the time.
Okay.
The best defense that you have is a ball control offense.
That's true.
And the reason why the best way to have a good defense is just not having them on the field.
Yep.
And they took 32. The Bengals took over 10 minutes on that first drive, got the touchdown. And then after that, for the final 50 minutes of the game, it was 32-18 Eagles.
Time of possession.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a difference.
Yeah. And the first period was done in 20 minutes. I mean, you could have had a break at my job, and first quarter was almost over. That's how fast it was.
It didn't take long at all. I don't think the Eagles had the ball. No, the last minute or two of the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got it with about 4 minutes left. They got down the field. They were around the 20, 25, somewhere in that range, and then quarter ended. So flip the field. So, on a technicality, that stat continues where they haven't scored in the first quarter.
Right.
But they did score on the first drive of the game, if that makes sense.
That makes sense, because it would have really been horrible for them going to the second quarter, not scoring in the first quarter, having the ball for that many minutes, and then not scoring.
Yeah.
That would have been horrible.
Yeah. And, once the Eagles got some control and the defense woke up a little bit, yeah, I mean, it just was a very businesslike win. And then on top of that, Jalen Hurts started throwing over the middle this week.
About time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that rookie that we have, did he finally get his first interception?
No, he didn't.
I thought it was kicked to him. The ball that went to Jamar Chase.
No, that was CJ with the interception. That's right. Isaiah Rodgers, who the Eagles got last year, and they said, we're just going to stash him away while he's suspended for a year because of that gambling thing that he had.
Right.
He tipped the ball because Darius Slay left the game with an injury.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tip drill.
Yeah. So, and also, congrats to Nick Sirianni. He's 3-0 with a shaved head, and he did not have to break out the human shields at the press conference.
No, he didn't. Life is good. Dark, 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 dark.
So, but then again, we thought that the Eagles, when we were watching the 425 game, we thought when the Bears scored with 20 seconds left, I mean, I'm sure it probably passed your mind, or you probably, you may not even realize it, because I was thinking it because I'm thinking about what I can talk about tonight.
Right.
I'm thinking, oh great, we're going to be in first place.
I thought that also. Yes, I did.
So, and I want to play this video here, and I have on there the biggest karma payback ever. Now, I couldn't find a great video where it's actually in landscape mode, because whoever took the video like this instead of like this.
Right.
So, because if you do it like this, you can get a better view of the
Landscape.
video. But, they did it like this. And probably because of the fact that, it's the last play of the game. Oh, fuck it. Let's do this just for shits and giggles, just in case. And of course, the play happens. But watch. I just want to get the name right here. I have to find it here because it's not on the main page anymore. Here it is. Tyreek Stevenson, number 29. So I have the video here, and I should delete. Well, that's not the right one there, was it? No, it is. Okay. Yeah, I need to get rid of this Fairmount Park FanDuel Racing stuff, but I need that for tomorrow's article, so it's going to stay up there. So this is what I found from a guy named Joe Abdo, and I'm sure there's other videos that are better than this. I think NBC did show a viral video, but their video, it was like really grainy because it was like from 100 yards away from behind the Commander's side of the field.
Okay.
But let me go here. I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to do this. So I do apologize that it's in portrait mode here because, probably a last minute decision to record this. So on the lower, let me make sure I have it here. Okay, so on the lower lower left hand side, also known as my other right, you see that blur there. That's Tyreek Stevenson, and he's going to go in and out of the view a couple of times because it's just the way that this video was taken. So he's talking shit to the fans because, oh yeah, we're going to win here. Ha ha ha. You lost, blah, blah, blah. And then this happened. Keep an eye on him because he's going to disappear, come back, and go back into the video. Disappeared. You see him again. He's going to go towards the pile. He's the one that tipped it. And the Commander's catches it for the touchdown. Let's show it one more time. Fuck it. There he goes. He's talking to fans, and the receivers are going down the field. It's like, hello. So just when you thought the Eagles were going to be in first place, that happens.
Hello, Karma, my old friend.
But I'll tell you one thing. Herm Edwards last night on Sports Center at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I think it was. He said that he would have suspended him for a game for conduct detrimental. What do you think?
That might be a little bit too severe.
I mean, I think so, but I think also, even if that one game suspension did occur,
Mm-hmm.
the Players Association would get involved.
Yeah, it would.
So,
It would be overturned. Yeah.
yeah. But, I just think that, it's just, he just, now personally, I said it as a joke, but I said, I probably would have cut his ass.
When do you ever see anyone at any football game, whether you play on amateur, whether we played out on the field,
Hmm?
play semi-pro, play pro, you always play until the game is over.
Yeah, exactly.
That's number one. Number two, you don't mess with the fans. And number three, refer to number one and number two.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Now he's a second-year player. He was a second-round draft pick number 56 overall. I mean, so he has a year in the league, but
But he acts like he's never played football before.
exactly.
You said he was a 56 pick,
Yeah.
which means you play college ball.
I will give you 3 guesses where he played college ball.
Let's see. Alabama,
Nope.
Georgia,
No.
McNeese State.
No.
Okay, that's my 3 guesses.
Where did McNeese State come from? Because you're like blue blood, and then you get to
Who the fuck is that guy?
That's what popped in my head.
he played at the U.
Oh,
Yeah, and the U has toned down for the most part, but you're still going to get guys talking shit and stuff
Yeah.
like that, no matter what. Some more than others.
Yeah.
But
Well, he apologized. I don't buy an apology, but
and I think the sincerity and all that's one thing, but the timing of it, because I think it was like within a couple of hours.
yeah,
Because I believe there is a rule where you can't go on social media for like a half an hour after the game. Now, if that's the case, then I'm okay with that. But it wasn't like something where he apologized the night after or the morning after.
you
It
don't
was
have to
like,
talk to him. You're that right. Someone must have talked to him and told him you need to apologize.
I think with something like that, I don't even think he needed somebody to tell him to apologize.
He needs something, kicking a butt, something.
But also with the way social media is right now, I mean, you're not on Twitter, so or at least I don't think you're on Twitter.
I'm not on Twitter,
so you can't go after him on Twitter. So nah.
Oh man.
Nah, but seriously, hey, Nestor the Molester's on the mound.
Oh wow.
Well, he was the guy that gave up the grand slam, and Yankee fans were pissed because it was the first time he pitched in 40 days. But Jim Cott got himself into trouble a couple years ago by calling him Nestor the Molester. That's why I said that. But it's you just gotta I'd rather see somebody apologize right away because whether he was told to do it or not told to do it, it makes it more sincere that you screwed up. Whereas, and that's something that we learned with public relations and stuff when I was doing the Drexel sports management stuff. The sooner you can respond to something, the better it is for for the school, for the team, whatever.
Yeah, I would suspend him though. I would suspend him.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, I would love to suspend him, but the Players Association is going to say, well, you have this guy shooting up on roids or whatever, or you have this guy doing this and this guy doing that, and
Yeah.
you don't, it's just so many different. But he ended up um, apologizing. It is what it is. And the thing is, even if you're not active on social media and you are on there, they will find you.
They're gonna find me. Please don't let them find me, Joe. Please, please,
Well,
please.
I'll call Ghostbusters for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But um, yeah. So you know, and like a lot of this is just like he messed up. Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
But now another guy who probably should have um, apologized yesterday is Anthony Richardson. Now, I missed this originally because I'm working over there, as you know.
Right.
I had the red zone on that TV in the living room,
Right.
and what I call the antenna TV. I had it moved over closer to where you're sitting,
Right.
and I was watching the Eagles game on that. I did not realize. Well, also Jalen Hurts also had to miss a play because they couldn't get the knot out in his shoe, but
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
that's something more legitimate because when you have a wardrobe malfunction, if you want to call it that, you can't play on one shoe on, one shoe off, unless you're a kicker, which
right.
we haven't seen in 20, 30 years.
Tony Franklin.
Rich Carlos, Paul
Rich Carlos.
McFadden,
Right.
but I mean, you can't play with one shoe on, one shoe off because, especially a quarterback, because you get stomped on, and then the next thing you know, your foot looks like Swiss cheese. But Anthony Richardson wasn't on the field for a late third quarter play in a game which his team trailed by 2 scores and later lost. Why? Because he was exhausted. Well, here's the one thing, and you would have thought last year when he was acting like Evil Knievel and getting hurt every game,
Right.
you would thought that maybe he would start to learn, especially when you have a quarterback who's won a Super Bowl like Joe Flacco.
Right.
By the way, Joe Flacco, you do not look good in a double-digit uniform. I'm sorry, but that may be because I'm so used to him wearing number 5 for Baltimore, and him bouncing around from team to team. Also, by the way, Eagles legend Joe Flacco, because he was an Eagle but never stepped on the field.
Wow. Talk about information in your head. Okay.
Yeah, he got traded to the Jets because the Jets needed a quarterback because everybody got hurt that one year. Oh, and you're saying about you leaving and turning your ringer off?
Yeah.
Mine went off. At least I caught that one. My phone's probably been going off the whole show. But anyways, he exited the game after scrambling around furiously on the previous 2 plays against the Houston defense. On the second and goal play from the 23, he shook off a would-be sack from defensive tackle, whatever his name is, before turning up the field and looking for a target. Richardson ended up keeping the ball and was ultimately tackled by Jake Hansen for no gain. See, the thing is, there's a couple of points here that may be something I mention here as well. The thing is, you got to realize. Oh no, okay, never mind. Yeah, the natural uppercut swing of Aaron Judge.
Right.
And for those that are behind watching the game and they're behind, sorry. I hate to ruin it to you, but sucks to be you. But the thing is, you have to realize that after a while, that hero ball shit's got to stay in college.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be more. What's the word I'm looking for here? More wise with running around or running the ball forward or whatever. I mean, I understand there's always a case where sometimes you have to scramble around like there's no tomorrow. Like Jaden Daniels, the only reason why he scrambled for 15 seconds before he threw the ball is because he had to give time for his guys to all get in position.
Yeah.
Whereas they had three, I think they had three guys rushing.
They did. And they're all three of them double teamed.
Yeah. And, you gave them 15 seconds, and then you don't have anybody tall back there that can knock the ball down.
Yeah. I would have knocked the ball down.
Well, you're also 8'4".
Oh, okay. True.
I mean, me, I'm 4 foot nothing. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. I'm 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
SJ is 4 foot nothing. I'm sorry. She's 4'13", or something like that.
She's going to get back to you for this. You know that, right?
Oh, she'll watch it after the fact. I don't care.
Yeah.
What's she going to do? I will get her a step stool so she can get up to my eye level and give me shit.
Yeah, she's going to get you for that one. Yeah.
But it's just like with you just got to realize, and I don't know if this is just a wasted first round pick, which this seems to be, because it does say on here the strange string of events occurring only go to intensify the discourse around Richardson, whose season-long struggles have been a weekly challenge for the Colts to navigate. I just really think that maybe this was a wasted draft pick by the Colts.
Let's hope not.
But the thing is, I mean, I don't know if it's but the thing is, we're looking at hindsight a year ago, so it's like, well, who was the guys that they were projected to get, and did they reach for this pick? So they probably did reach, but we're talking a year ago, and I can barely remember more than a couple days ago if it's not worth remembering. But you just got to realize that you just have to. But also, he was hurt last year. He missed most of the season, so that he's still in his formative rookie year, even though it's his second year. But
couldn't he have handed the ball off if that was how he was feeling for one play, just to catch his breath?
Yeah, could have did that. I mean, but you don't want to waste a timeout.
That's true.
That's the only thing. I mean, first half, who gives a shit? But
Yeah.
But the second half, that's when you want to save them towards the end of the game if you're down, so you can get the ball back, or
He needs to grow up. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a Super Bowl that Donovan McNabb was throwing up, but he still played?
Yeah.
He was sick, but he still played.
Well, I don't think he was sick.
He might have had too many tacos. Who knows?
I mean, I think it was more nerves, but.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, anyways, just to let you know what we're laughing at, in case you're, they threw a dart right to the plate, and Giancarlo Stanton, a guy who I can beat in a race around the bases, he somehow did not get hurt.
That's true.
But he was tagged out the plate.
Yeah.
And also, if there's one thing I'd like to see in baseball this year, and we're going on tangents upon tangents, like this is a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday show when I'm flying solo, can we get away from the fact that these players are basically wearing shorts? Because they're pulling the pants above the kneecap. Babe Ruth didn't wear them above the kneecap. He wore them like right below the kneecap.
Yeah.
Lou Gehrig did.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's the fashion trend now because it's either super baggy or super high.
Yeah.
But it's just something that just annoys the hell out of me.
Players of the day.
But also they're going to be going back to the 2023 style uniforms, which I don't really. Well, in a way, I'm okay with. I was okay with except for seeing them sweat right through their uniforms all the time.
Yeah.
Do we really need the name that big on the back of the uniform?
Not really.
Exactly.
Not unless you have cataracts. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyways, anyway, Anthony Richardson said, "I was tired. I'm trying to do Forrest Gump, and I failed at it. So I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of running right there. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that next play. I just told Shane Steichen that I just needed a break right there.
And he's the quarterback.
I think he needs to realize that he can't run around the field the whole time.
Exactly.
He needs to realize that I gotta be on the field for the team, whether it's a 1-play drive, a 3-play drive, a 3 and out, an interception, a fumble, or a 17-play drive that the Bengals had to start the game against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, and to be out there the whole time, you got to be smarter about it.
It's true.
You're not at the University of Florida anymore. You're not getting your ass kicked by Georgia every year in the world's largest cocktail party, even though they don't call that anymore. You're not losing to Alabama. You're not losing to Tennessee. You're playing in the National Football League, and if he continues his shit, he's going to be realizing that the NFL also stands for no fun league when he's sitting his ass on the bench.
Exactly.
But
And what do you think the linemen are thinking when he said he's tired? They're busting their behinds trying to protect him. He said, I need to sit down because I'm tired. They're thinking, what are we doing?
mm-hmm,
Why are we explaining all this energy and you're going to say you're tired?
mm-hmm,
Then we said, well, here's the official line. Oh, hey, go get him.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just so stupid what
It was.
what he did. I mean that's definitely something that that is also. I mean you're trying not to bench him. They're struggling with him. Yeah, he did regret. I mean, he's probably even regressed a little bit. Even though you can't really gauge where he was as a quarterback because he was getting hurt every single game, like he was Evil Knievel.
Right.
But you got to be much more knowledgeable of the fact that you can't run like that every single play because that's what happens.
Well, Joe Flacco said, Coach, put me in if you need to. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not
Now,
going to run, but I'll be here.
yeah. Now, like for example, Jalen Hurts, he had a viable excuse for missing a play because they couldn't untie his. Well, first of all, they couldn't get his foot back in the shoe without untying it. Then, when they tried to untie it, if I remember correctly, they couldn't get the knot out. So he was wearing 2 different shoes, like he was Stevie Wonder out there.
Now, keep in mind, though, they were 2 Jordan shoes, so
There were 2 totally different colors.
2 different colors, but the same color.
I mean, Penguin AZ is in the YouTubes. He actually followed me on Rebet today.
Oh, cool.
I was actually making some coinage over the last few days because one thing I was doing, I didn't make a pick tonight, but over the last 3 days, because I did the Philly fade on Thursday nights, I did share my Thursday night pick, which was a winner, which was, or was I started on Friday? But whatever I did was I shared USC on Friday. I had let me go to the settle part here. I gave out Indiana Actually, I gave out Indiana on also eligible because that was one of my picks because we were like filling in some time there. I told everybody to take Indiana over Washington. AJ talked me into taking Navy money line over. Well, he told me to take the points. I said, "Fuck it, I'm going money line. I want the plus 430." Well, uh, uh, Penguin AZ wants to know if he can follow you on rebet. I don't know if his rebet got set up yet. We were having issues last week.
Still having issues.
Yeah, so we might have to do that after the show. So, has the pack been mentioned? Not yet, but I am going to mention Jordan Love here in a moment, and Hoosier show. Yeah, I hope. Uh, do the Hoosiers play Penn State? Because you know my disdain for Penn State.
Did they play Penn State?
Well, they didn't play them yet because they're 8-0.
No, they haven't played them yet, like you said.
No, they don't.
No.
And what may be a reason why an argument that my conferences are too big, that conferences are too big. Indiana does not play Oregon or Penn State. Oregon does not play Penn State either. So you have a possibility they have 3 teams undefeated in the conference. Good luck figuring out that tiebreaker, Big Ten.
Indiana looks very, very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I got a little worried there at the end. Well, the reason why I took Indiana was because having been on University of Washington's campus for about a half an hour a couple years ago, they're on Pacific time zone. So that game was a 9 a.m. game to them.
Oh.
That's the only reason why I played it.
I can see that.
But
they're still waking up. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I gave out USC on Friday. Did I give out anything on Thursday? I don't think I gave this out, but I did have that parlay on Wednesday, which I told you about. Yeah, I didn't do anything till Friday, so I gave out USC Friday night. I gave out Indiana on Saturday. That was a winner. Then I gave out Miami. They covered. Thank you, Florida State, for not going for 2 there. And then I gave out my parlay, and I said, the parlay here, I'm playing all 3 singles as well. Eagles money line, which was a winner. Falcons -1.5, that was a winner. And we won't talk about Tennessee.
Still won't mention it.
Because somebody said that the Lions were going to have a trap game. But I think I said, if they do win, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, that, we can call them a Super Bowl contender. So
yeah, you did.
I did look at it from both sides. So
you did cover yourself. However, you also said trap game.
Yeah. Penguin says if Indiana loses, they're still winning as most. They did not expect Hoosiers to be this good. Yeah, they didn't. But they have a coach that actually brags and says, "We win when I coach," or whatever the verbiage is. But I do want to say one thing. Did you see Kyle Schwarber on College Game Day before the start of the game Saturday?
No, I just caught a clip of it later on.
Let me see if I can find a picture. Actually, I know who to find. Was it Rachel Nichols? Let me see if I can find it. No, it wasn't that. I know what I can do. Even though it's technically a competing site, Crossing Broad will probably have it. So let me find it here. They don't have the one that I want, though. Or do they? All right. Well, you can barely see it on here, and I'm going to share my screen here. And also said Penguin said the Lions are going to beat the Packers. I agree. But we'll get into that in a second here. But as we go on to million tangents, I should just call this the Tangent Podcast because that's all I do is tangents. But now I don't know if this is I don't know if they were filming the first scenes for The Ringer 2. I don't know if this was a Make-A-Wish campaign. But here was Kyle Schwarber Saturday morning at Bloomington because he is an Indiana alum, and I got to share my screen again because I'm a dumbass. There you go. Oops. Now we'll share it. Look at that. He's got the Indiana baseball helmet on. He's got the Indiana football jersey on. I think he has shoulder pads on. Or if he does have shoulder pads, if he does, it's like fake shoulder pads. And then if you were to see him standing up, he's got the Indiana warm-up pants that the basketball team wears underneath that.
Oh, Kyle.
Now, I don't know. Is he trying out for The Ringer 2? Is he asking for a Make-A-Wish?
It might be a little bit of both.
I mean, I understand school pride and stuff, because I fly my colors,
Right.
But I don't. I mean, I don't think he played football. He did play baseball, obviously, at Indiana. But he does look like a Make-A-Wish kid there.
Yeah, he's represented.
I mean, it looks like he just got done licking a couple of windows off the special bus.
I'm Mike Damon. Okay.
So, no, but we could joke around and say that because, he is Mr. Philly.
Yes, he is.
And, but the thing is with him, but he did not win the Roberto Clemente Award.
Who won?
Salvador Perez.
Oh, that's right. He was deserving.
I think that they saw that and they said, you know what, we can't give it to the Make-A-Wish kid.
Possible?
Yeah, but that's you can't give it to him, can you? After that?
Not after that.
I don't even think the Phillies can actually, if he's still on the team by the time they nominate. I mean, he will be, but if he's still on team, because you never know, crazier shit has happened. But can you nominate him again after looking like he's Jeffrey Dahmer Jeffrey Dahmer Jr. from The Ringer?
Yeah, because he is still Kyle Schwarber.
But
Yeah.
And I need to get the sound drop from The Ringer where all this, and this is not in a derogatory sense, is SJ's gotten sick of her Yankees. She says hello. What I need to get is just to store it away in case anybody mentions ice cream on the show. And SJ is sick, and that's the worst thing she could have did. Because there is a little birdie out there that just told me, well, wait a second. There is a little birdie that just told me.
I heard that you were feeling ill. Headache, fever, and a chill. I came to help restore your pluck, 'cause I'm the nurse who likes to...
That's funny.
So, going back to what I was saying about The Ringer, not the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff or anything like that. I'm not sure if it was Johnny Knoxville or the actress's boyfriend towards the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
he goes, I took him. No, I think it was Johnny Knoxville.
Okay.
He goes, yeah, they were supposed to be here. It's 12 o'clock. Where were you? Oh, we got ice cream. And the one kid goes, when do we fucking get ice cream? That's what I need to get.
You gotta find out. Yeah. Yeah.
So, just these little things where, I can just pull it up out of the clear blue. And, oh, by the way, did you say hi to her?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Sarah.
I'll kick his ass for you, SJ. I might have to get up onto a step stool like you have to do for me, but. And she said hello back for the second time. But you can tell the show's completely off the rails more than usual. But that's the great part about me and Mike being together. That script here. Oh fuck it, we ain't talking about the script tonight. I mean, we've gone on so many different tangents here already, and we're an hour into the show, and you know, and and Penguin AZ who's watching on YouTube, he wants to mention. He was asking about the Packers. Thankfully, Jordan Love's injury is not um, significant.
Oh, good.
So he did pull a groin his own. Even though that's saying from SportsCenter years ago, I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Keith Olbermann or Dan Patrick or
That sounds like Keith Olbermann.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Keith Olbermann's a left wing nut job.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, now granted, I lean to the left, okay, but I try to be as close to the center as possible because I'm not the type of person that's going to say, la, 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 I'm not listening to you because you're a conservative, blah, 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 blah. I'm not like that.
Right.
I want to hear what they have to say because if I get somebody who's an extremist attacking my Facebook page like it was 4 or 8 years ago, I know what they're trying to say, but my mental midget to English translator may be broken. But yeah, Penguin AZ missed the Eagles part, but with the Eagles, starting to get back on track. Jalen Hurts was the Jalen Hurts of old, and
Yes.
the Eagles played a ball control offense, and Cincinnati didn't know what to do with it.
No.
Worst thing they did was have that 10-minute drive because then they were on the field most of the rest of the game defensively. But Jordan Love, he pulled a groin his own. They're going to see how he feels about the Lions game this weekend. We won't talk about what the Lions did, but he. They think that even if he does miss this game, Jordan Love, it's only going to be a one game. It's only going to be a one-game injury because they got a bye week after this week.
Right.
So, question may be: do you want to put him in there or not? Because you do have Malik Willis, who got an opportunity to showcase himself coming in for Jordan Love. So,
Well, it's an important game, but because you have that bye week come up, maybe you err on the side of caution. So,
but it is a big game. It's not like it's like they were playing Jacksonville and then had a bye.
well, yeah.
It's not like you're playing the Carolina Panthers.
Well, yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like they're playing the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, if he's 75%,
Well,
then I would put him in.
Well, the Cowboys in Dallas because they get blown out every time.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And Penguin AC, who is our Green Bay fan, he says play Willis and perhaps win. That may happen because there isn't much. Well, there may be enough video of him with 10 seasons of battle video from the games that he did play with. Penguins the Lions were on a roll and don't expect to win. Well, I didn't expect the Lions to win 22-14 yesterday. If you watch the show, watch the end of the show on Thursday night. I did go 4-2. I got one bet that's pending from Thursday night's show, but it doesn't look like the series is going 7 right now. But we've seen crazier things happen in baseball. So, and And also, Penguin asked me, or you, if you want to respond as well, is Sirianni on the hot seat?
Not this week. Last week, yes. This week, no.
I think my seat is a little bit hotter because I got the heating vent right here, and it's been cold here the last couple of days. But it's going to be almost 80 degrees in a couple of days too. So,
Well, number one thing we always say about winning. Winning solves everything.
and
Yeah.
and so does and so does um, and so does shaving your head. Because the one thing I said, because they called him Bic Sirianni, BIC, because Bic Razor.
Right.
So of course, what do I call him on Insta Stories today or last night?
What did you call him?
Small Bic Nick.
Well, he did say something that his wife didn't like the haircut, so he might just go ahead and keep it.
But you know what? She liked it or she didn't like it.
She didn't like it.
Well, there's always divorce.
Yeah.
Or you can just throw her in the river. When you're going over well, I think if he does it, he should do it over the Betsy Ross Bridge because that's the highest of the 4 bridges.
As long as they win, he can have his seat. He can kind of
Now,
wants to.
if he wants to reenact what a lot of Phillies fans did after they lost to the Mets, you go to the Ben Franklin, you go to the walkway, you go halfway through and just go, oops, sorry. All right, we do not condone this here on Bleacher
No, we do not.
Brothers
No,
or
we
on
do
the
not.
Joe Will Show, so
Yeah.
we are joking around here,
Yes.
so
Ha 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 ha, joking, ha ha.
So and if I am permanently banned from Twitch and YouTube and all that, I'll just create a new ID and VPN my shit. But and meanwhile, they'll see VPN. Hey, Joe, this is what we think of you. But seriously, but Jordan Love, no significant damage. It's considered a strain. Malik Willis will start if they don't want to. If they don't want to chance it, but I would think in a big game like this, and let me just check the standings here right now because I don't know them off the top of my head. All I know is that the Eagles are half a game behind because that dumbass fucking defensive back for the Bears. But Green Bay is 6-2. The Lions are 6-1. So it is for first place in the division right now. But it's like, well, the Lions are going to lose a game somewhere along the way. But Penguin AZ says Willis needs to start. I mean, you do know a little bit more of the tendencies with Jordan Love being a year and a half long starter or 2 years or whatever it is. Love needs to sit down. But I will also tell you that Love hurts. Yeah. By the way, you know that Love Hurts shirt that I got from the Dane Patrick show?
Yeah.
I wore that last Sunday when I went up to my buddy's house for the Eagles Giants game.
Did you now?
I got some compliments with that shirt. I was like, oh, I got it from the Dan Patrick show, blah, blah, blah. It's just coincidence I'm wearing my other Dan Patrick shirt today. But, I'm not promoting the Dan Patrick show. It's just, I'll wear the shirt. Fuck it. But.
Well, one thing you said, Willis does know the offense, so it's not like it's a huge drop off between him, and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So if the Packers win, they get first place, and then they go into the bye. But there'd only be a game and a half back. But the question is, what games are the Lions going to lose right now?
How's the schedule look?
Well, the rest of the schedule for Detroit, they have the Packers this Sunday, which is a 4:25 game on Fox. There was a car that went by, but I think it was more along Castor Avenue or Glendale Avenue as opposed to right here on Large Street. So, I went like that. But going back to the schedule here for the Lions, they got the Texans on Sunday night afterwards. Then they got the Jaguars, the Colts at Indy, that is. Thanksgiving against the Bears. That should be a good one.
The Bears.
Then they have that Amazon Prime game on the 5th, the week after Thanksgiving, against the Packers. And that game, I say it every year, but nobody makes note of this until like 15 minutes before game time. That Thursday after Thanksgiving, the week after,
Right.
that Amazon Prime game is the only Thursday game where both teams get a full week's rest before that game.
Wow.
Because the Lions are playing on Thanksgiving, the
Right.
Packers are playing at home on Thanksgiving.
That's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Coach Haley will show if the bag he got will be deserving. Okay. But, the rest of the schedule here for the Lions here, Buffalo at home,
Lost.
4:25.
Okay.
Then you got a game in Chicago.
When?
At San Francisco.
When?
And the Vikings.
Lost.
I mean, they may lose that game because they don't have anything to play for.
Yeah. Plus, the Vikings want to, give revenge for them losing anyway. So.
Yeah. So Green Bay the rest of the way. That rhymed unintentionally.
Not today.
What's that?
Not today. Doesn't rhyme anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the Lions, they're at Chicago.
When?
They're home to San Francisco.
When?
At home on Thanksgiving to the Dolphins, which is a guaranteed win because it'll probably be snowing.
Yep.
At the Lions, it's that Thursday night game I mentioned. Then they got Seattle.
In Seattle?
In Seattle.
That might be a loss.
Then they play Monday Night Football at home versus New Orleans.
When?
Then they play at Minnesota. And they close out with the Bears.
Okay.
So, and, if Penguin was in the Twitter chat, thankfully he's not, I could see, thanks for the love. Yeah, I mean, he's one of my good friends out there in Arizona. Him and Play Action Real are two guys that are part of our crew. And we got all that squared away here, and be an interesting season. I mean, that NFC North is going to be crazy this year, and the NFC East with the Eagles, it's a two-team race, but it's not the Eagles and the Cowboys; it's the Eagles and the Commanders. But it is what it is. So
who would have thought about the Commanders being where they are right now?
I mean,
did you see it coming?
What?
Did you see it coming?
No. I'm also thinking because it's on the other table. I had I think what I did was I had at first that that Washington wouldn't do squat at the beginning of the year, and they would just progress nicely through the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I did, but I don't remember what the final record is. All I know is Minnesota already exceeded my win total for the Vikings this year. I said they were going to go 4-13. They already got 5 wins. But so before we get on to the next topic here, I do want to let you guys know that it is a very busy week for yours truly, because not only do we have my 4 shows this week, and by the way, the Wednesday show will be starting at 9 o'clock, going back to 9 o'clock this week, because the Bleacher Brothers show is eventually when the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network launches on the 11th. we are going to. The Wednesday show is going to be the Bleacher Brothers show. I think is going to be 6 to 8 or 7 to 8, one or the other. Then tea time with Chef Tom will be 8 to 9, and then I will be 9 to 11. So we're going back to that 9 o'clock time slot. So if they said, "Hey, you got to stay at 10," I don't care. Just tell me when to crack the seal and start the show. But just to let you guys know as well, I'm not doing that on purpose. It's just so you can hear me. But also eligible. Not only are we going to have this Saturday track talk, we are also going to have Breeders' Cup action this week. I will be live, and tentatively, I am planning for Friday for the 5 Breeders' Cup races. The first race I think is at 5:30. I will be on around 5 p.m. on Friday, at least on my Twitch and maybe on the Bleacher Brothers as well. Where it's some of the little things that we have to work out yet. And then Saturday, I will be live from 2:30 to 8:30 p.m. We'll be looking at all 9 races as they run. I will be giving you thoughts on the races and also a little bit of this and that, and maybe I can get you guys a couple of winners because I do pick a couple of winners every year, and last year my big winner was the only long shot on Saturday, a horse by the name of No Balls. And why is he No Balls? Because he was a gelding. But I mean, and it almost also got me a free trip to Vegas.
Almost.
Yeah, because I was in a handicapping contest, and somehow I qualified for the month of October. Now I was like, I didn't make it, whatever. All of a sudden I see the email. Oh, you qualified for the main event on Breeders' Cup weekend. You got to pick all 14 races, blah blah blah. Well, I ended up in the top 20, but you need to be top 2 to get the invite to the NHC Championship, where you have a chance of winning up to $1 million.
Right.
But didn't get in. So, but I tried.
Why don't you try it?
Yeah. And also, just to let you guys know as well, one of our partners is FanDuel, at least with Bleacher Brothers. And, I know SJ is going to be giving me some crap for talking Bleacher Brothers so much, but just to let you guys know, for the Breeders' Cup this weekend, Friday and Saturday, it's the races are Del Mar in California. Friday for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, which is race 9 on a 10-race card. And Saturday, the 2nd, the Breeders' Cup Classic, which is race 8 of 12. FanDuel has a $20 no-sweat win bet. So let's say you put that full $20 on there and your horse finishes 2nd or 3rd, depending on how big the field is. Get your $20 back if your horse finishes 2nd or 3rd. Now, for all the other races on the card, it's a $10 win insurance bet. Same parameters, depending on the horses, 2nd or 3rd.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll either be building up the free wagers or be building up the pot. So that's everything with that. So, and I think this was. I don't know if this was. I think I'm getting a little confused here because the picture here is Pat McAfee with Randy Johnson here, so it's not even Tony Clark.
Okay.
MLB Players Association Executive Director Tony Clark expressed concerns Friday about how pitchers are being used in today's game, putting the onus on teams to keep them healthy. Well, it's not just Major League Baseball, it's the way that they're being brought up, in my opinion, because it's throw as hard as you can for as long as you can. That's why their elbows blow out on them.
Yeah.
But conversations with the players has suggested that unless or until you draw a line in the sand and force change, that the decision makers on any one particular team are going to continue to make the decisions that they're making, which is have the pitchers, starters, and relievers max effort for a period of time so that they can have them. As soon as they seem to run out of gas, as that suggests that they're going to do, recycle them out and burn out another pitcher. But I don't even think that they're actually I don't even think that they're actually um, even in the younger years. You're not teaching them, how to pitch like in and out and up and down and moving the ball around like a Greg Maddux did.
I was just thinking about Greg Maddox.
It's all about how hard can you get it on the gun,
Yeah.
and that's why pitchers are have the rite of passage of Tommy John surgery or go through it 2 or even 3 times.
All pitchers are not built the same way.
Yeah.
But if you treat them all the same way, this is what you're going to get.
Now, the one pitcher that I'm interested in seeing evolve over time is Paul Skeens from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why is the way that he warms up is different from the others. It's like he has a tension ball rag thing, and he does this, and so I think he has something that's a little bit different. It may work, it may not work over time, but that's the thing. Over time, you have to find out.
Yeah, I hope so because he's a really, really good young
Yeah.
pitcher. He really is.
Yeah. So, but it's. I mean, I understand the point of view of the Players Association guy Tony Clark, but but I think the one thing is with the way baseball is now, a lot of what they're doing is it's just throw as hard as you can. It's not about just getting the ball over the plate. It's not fool them with a little bit of a curve here, a little bit of a slider here, a sweeper here. It's how hard can we even throw the curveball? How hard can we throw the slider? It isn't what it is anymore.
No, it's not. And don't they know that one thing about baseball players, they adapt.
Mm-hmm.
If they see you throwing 97, they're going to adjust to that and they're going to wait on that one fastball, 97 mile an hour. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. But it's how you get it, but it's also the movement that you have on the fastball too. So
yeah,
I mean, I remember when I was in Little League, 10, 11, 12 years old. I think it was my 11-year-old year.
What was that, the little midget league you said?
What was that?
Was that the midget league that you were in?
Midget. It was a midget league. Yeah, midget.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure. Yeah.
But you can't use the word midget now unless you're what's that comedian?
Oh, but no, I just saw him. The small guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I find him on my Facebook all the time because I keep finding him on my
He
Facebook.
is funny.
Brad.
In the Little People's League. You were in the Little People's League.
Yeah.
LPL.
So yeah, so I mean, one hockey league they call it the under 16 league, but the way that they said it, it sounds like it's a child molester league or something like that. But
It doesn't sound
like
yeah.
like between innings, they'd come up to me and they'd be like, "Are you throwing curveballs?" I'm like, "No." Little did I know because I didn't know the difference between a two seam or a four seam. I just gripped the ball the way it felt good to me, which was a two seam fastball.
Right.
That's why the ball was moving around all over the place because I was throwing a two seam fastball all the time.
Didn't know it, huh?
But it wasn't a curveball. But I just think he does have a point here. But also Major League Baseball is trying to say, well, now they want to make a rule where starting pitchers have to pitch 6 innings, or they can be pulled if they give up 4 runs or throw 100 pitches or anything like that, which is actually exacerbating the problem instead of solving the problem.
It really is.
But I think the problem with that is more. The problem is more all the way down to the lower levels because you're teaching them the same thing.
Yeah.
And maybe it's. I mean, and call me call me cynical, call me what you will. I think also the pitch counts in Little League baseball are a little. I mean, but I understand why they put them into play because it's like, well, we need to protect their arms. I understand that, but but does a kid really need to throw a curveball at age 12?
No,
Especially when you're at a distance where you got to put even more torque on the ball or spin on the ball to get it to spin that much sooner because at 11 and 12 years old, I was pitching from 50 feet and the bases were 75 feet. They're still pitching from 40 some feet and the bases are 60 feet away in the Little League World Series.
it has to find a way. It has to find. They have to find a happy medium because right now, it's not.
Yeah.
You want to protect their arms, but you want them to go 99 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
Doesn't
go.
make any sense.
No. But you have to realize that, the body can only do so much and I mean it's something that the fans won't like. Maybe you need to take the radar gun out of the major league ballparks. I mean, fans won't like it, but you got to do something to because it just seems like that we're just saying, well, this pitcher threw 104. Well, this one needs to do 100. Well, I need to go 105, 106. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
And but I think another reason why that um, the radar guns are a little bit higher now. And if I'm wrong, feel free to chime in. I believe that the way that they measure the the way that they measure the the speed of the ball is different now because it used to be like especially when Nolan Ryan was throwing in the 70s and he was always the one that was running and doing all these leg exercises so that he can have a strong core so that he can throw 100 miles an hour. But when he was pitching, they were measuring the ball when it reached the plate. I believe now what they do is they actually measure it coming out of the hand.
Hmm.
So that may be why you see 104, 105, 106. It's not necessarily like in this case when Freddie Freeman's at the plate.
Right.
It's when it's leaving the pitcher's hand.
That is different. That would be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just me. So just looking at here. Yes, I think we covered everything here. So we actually did a little bit of extra stuff there as well. Um, so the audios will be back tomorrow night, as long as I don't get sidetracked, and we will do it live again tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday with me solo. Mike will be back next Monday, and we'll have more fun here on the Joe Quill Show. So, Mike, thank you for joining me tonight,
You're welcome, Joe. Anytime.
and we will do it again next Monday at 9 o'clock. Me and Mike, and I will do it again tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So we're cutting it short tonight, and have a great night, everybody.